Welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Wednesday, October 23rd. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. We begin with an assurance from a top official at the Sanitation Service Authority that measures are being put in place to improve the garbage collection woes facing the country. SSA Chairman Senator Rudy Grant gave the assurance in his contribution to the debate on the Queen Elizabeth Hospital Amendment Bill 2019 in the Senate this afternoon. Grant told the sitting that 12 purpose-built trucks are currently being manufactured.
The 12 new trucks, sir, the chassis for those trucks were constructed in Japan. Those chassis are now in Iowa at the plant, New Way. The bodies for all 12 garbage trucks have been completed. The two have already been fitted onto the chassis. The engineer from Simpson Motors will be leaving on the 28th to go to Iowa. The trucks as completed, the trucks as they come off the production line will then be taken to Jacksonville, and from Jacksonville they will be shipped to Barbados. And as the trucks are produced, as the trucks are manufactured and completed, we will bring them to Barbados.
He says the SSA's board will meet next week Tuesday to consider the purchase of other trucks by a shorter means. A number of other measures will also be put in place.
It means, sir, that every single aspect in relation to a new truck might not be fulfilled, but we have to get trucks here in a timely manner to ensure that we are able to deal with the concerns of the public of Barbados and to ensure that there are no public health issues, and we will get that done. Mr. Deputy President, we are in the process, and I believe certainly by the end of this week, an additional 20 skips will be placed around Barbados. We will be utilizing the services of the private waste haulers to assist us with the movement of those skips. But in addition to that, the SSA's board will also consider next week, Tuesday, the purchase of an additional 12 skips as well.
Inconsistencies at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital's Finance and Procurement Department are now under investigation. So says leader of government business in the Senate, Dr. Jerome Walcott, who says issues from over a decade ago are still affecting the hospital. Addressing the upper house as he led up debate on the Queen Elizabeth Hospital Amendment Bill 2019 this morning, Senator Walcott highlighted some of the discrepancies.
You can have a situation where an actual stock count and a matching book value of inventory, there's a gap of $13.1 million. Has to be written off. What you have and what you say you have. Last qualified audit, 2011. And the honorable member is concerned about Water Authority if it stopped at 2014. This one, 2011. Currently, an additional 7.1 million that cannot be explained in terms of where it's going, what it has purchased, who it has paid, is being investigated. So these are some of the issues that have to be dealt with at this point in time. I spoke about the CEO and his sudden sick leave. Procurement manager was there on the Friday and then resigned on the Monday. The director of finance resigned about 2 weeks ago. When the auditors were doing the audit, the person was ill, called in sick. A week after, the individual resigned. Clearly, all was not well in finance and procurement in the QH.
Barbados has been recognized as one of the Caribbean countries leading the charge in closing the gender gap in the workplace. This is according to a just released report by UN Women entitled Status of Women and Men Report, a gender analysis of labor force data and policy frameworks in 6 CARICOM member states. Representative of the UN Women Multi-Country Office, Tony Bodber, says despite significant investments in education, Structural barriers to gender equality and women's empowerment still exist in the labor market.
Occupational sex segregation is evident in all countries. Women are most strongly overrepresented in the clerical category. The female hourly rate is less than 100% of the male rate in all countries except Barbados, where the rates are the same, and Jamaica. Women's earnings, once disaggregated by educational level though, are lower than those of men, revealing that women do not receive the same reward for educational attainment that men do. Women are many times more likely as well to live in households that contain no other adults, but do contain at least one child under 18. Therefore, as we know, there's a predominance of single female-headed households with children. And the gender gap in wages is narrowing, but it still persists, which is disturbing given that women are more highly educated.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Caribbean developments now. The region's first marine waste management and processing facility will be built on Grand Bahama. This after the Inter-American Development Bank awarded a multi-million-dollar contract to a local registered company for the construction of the marina facility. We get more from Desmond Saunders of ZNS News.
The IDB awarding Clean Marine Company with a $1.5 million contract for the construction of the first marine waste reception and processing facility in the Caribbean. The company based out of Freeport, Grand Bahama will use the latest technology to process and recycle liquid waste from marine vessels. The project is expected to create 45 jobs, enhance the local economy while protecting our marine resources. Minister for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwasi Thompson, says historic signing is good news for Grand Bahama.
Today, we witnessed the signing of the IDB Lab Technical Agreement and Loan Agreement and the announcement and commencement of the Clean Marines Expansion Project in Grand Bahama. I'm advised that earlier this year, the IDB Lab launched the Blue Tech Challenge in the Caribbean for companies applying for new technologies and solutions to foster long-term sustainability of the ocean economy. In March of 2019, the Clean Marine Group Limited was selected as a winner in the Bahamas.
Clean Marine edged out 20 competitors from the Caribbean. The project comes at a time when the Bahamas is tightening its marine laws.
And on the international front, the bodies of 39 people have been found in a lorry container in Essex. The bodies, 38 adults and one teenager, was made in the early hours of Wednesday after emergency services were alerted to people in a truck container. The vehicle is believed to have originated from Bulgaria. The driver, a 25-year-old man from Northern Ireland, remains in custody on suspicion of murder. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he was appalled by the news. And that's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates or like us on Facebook. and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.